All right, everyone. Welcome to the new year. This is our semester 2 for Math 1. We're starting with Chapter 6, Homework 1. Right? Going to jump right to the game. Solve each equation for the indicated variable. So in this case, we're going to take this x and we're going to try to isolate it. Okay, and you guys remember back from your Sutter years, some of you guys might even have drawn a line down the middle. Right? So if we think about this, it's split that way. Right? So which means that we will have 3x minus 2y equals 18, right? And what we want to do is we want to solve for x, meaning x should be the last thing that's sitting there, okay? In this case, we're going to go ahead and start off with adding 2y, okay? And by doing that, these will cancel, and you will be left with 3x equals, and you cannot put 18 and 2y together, okay? Those don't belong together. Best you can do with that is just sit them next to each other. So I'm going to go ahead and write the 2y in the front and then the plus 18 in the back because it is a plus 18. It's a positive 18. Okay. Now all I got to do to finish up is I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides by 3. So that gets divided by 3 and both of these get divided by 3. And one thing I do, and I didn't show you guys this in class, but if everything gets divided by 3, you write it like this, but you can also split it up like that, which means that each of them gets divided by 3 also. So it looks like that. And by doing this, these 3's cancel and you have your final answer of x equals, there's the middle right there, 2y divided by 3. Now you can't solve for the 2 divided by 3. Okay, I had a student in my math support that keeps trying to divide it on a calculator, and when it doesn't work out perfectly, he says, oh, you can't do it. Yes, you can't do it. It's not going to be perfect, but you know what? You can leave it as 2/3 y like that, or 2y over 3. Okay, 18 divided by 3, you definitely can do that, and that makes 6. So your answer for A is going to be x equals, actually, I'll write it over here. X equals 2/3 y plus 6. Okay, and if you needed to see that work again, rewind it. X equals 2/3 y plus 6. Okay. B, we're going to solve for y in this case. See this one? We want to solve for y. So I'm going to write it down. 3x minus 2y equals 18. And again, you can put a line down the middle to split it up, but I want to solve for y, which means that I need to get rid of everything except for y. Okay, first I'm going to do is get rid of that 3x by doing the opposite, negative 3x. Okay, and again, I cannot put 18 and 3x together, so the best I can do is write down 18 minus 3x. Okay, or in my case, I'm going to go ahead and put the 3x in front. So notice that 3x is negative, so I'm going to go ahead and put down negative 3x plus 18. And then I have left with negative 2y. Okay, finish this off. I'm going to go ahead and divide it by negative 2. Remember what I said? Right? You can go ahead and split it up like that, which means that each of these gets negative 2. Like that and like that. Okay, and that's going to cancel the negatives and the 2. And we're going to be left with y equals negative divided by negative is positive. 3 divided by 2, you cannot do that evenly, so we're going to leave it as 3 half x. And positive 18 divided by negative 2 is going to be a negative, and then that's 9. So our answer is going to be y equals 3 half x minus 9. Okay. Again, if you need to rewind or pause, go ahead and rewind or pause it. Okay, just because I erase it doesn't mean it's gone. I mean, it is gone, but you can rewind it, which means it's still there. Okay, last one. Solve for the r. You notice on here, the r is sitting right in the back. So if I want to get rid of everything except for the r, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and divide everything by 2 pi because I need the r to stay put. So again, remember, this is your middle. So I'm going to go ahead and divide this by 2 pi and divide this side by 2 pi. Okay, and by doing that, these 2 pi's cancel, and I'm left with r equals, and then on the left side is c over 2 pi. And that's my final answer. Okay, I'm going to put that right here. Again, pause it if you need to. Okay, complete and copy the and complete the area models below. Then write the answer of each rectangle as a product equivalent to a sum. Okay, this is just distributive property. 6 times 13 is, oh, I don't know. 6 times 3 is 18. Carry the 1. 6, so it's 78x. 6 times negative 21. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. So it's negative 12. All right, so they want us to rewrite it as a product and as a sum. So the product is 6 times 13x minus 21, and that's going to equal 78x minus 126. That's writing it as a product equaling a sum. Okay, part B. This one's easy. X times negative 5 is negative 5x. X times x is x squared. Okay. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. 3 times x is 3x. All right. Again, they want us to write this as a product. The product is going to be x minus 5 and x plus 3. It's the individual side pieces. And the sum is going to be x squared, negative 5x, and positive 3x is going to be negative 2x minus 15. Okay. Oops. Okay. C. This one looks like it's going to be backwards, right? So what do they all have in common? 16, 24, and 4. That's the end of the school bell, by the way. So that is, they all have a 4 in common. So I'm going to write 4 on the side.
Good afternoon, students. Make sure to pick up your delicious
4 times 1 is 4. 4 times negative 6x. 4 times 4x
in room
squared.
703 for all students. In the library, we have gaming club, chess club,
Okay.
Lego
As a
club,
product, we have
virtual reality club.
4
The library is open for all
times
students until
4 x squared minus 6x plus 1.
in the cafeteria
As a sum, it's going to be 16x squared
signing up or participating with
minus 24x
club. Head on over
plus
to
4.
the cafeteria.
That one's pretty long.
Correction. Club,
This one is going to be just like how the letter B was.
Right now,
negative 2x.
So if you're interested, head on over to the cafeteria.
3x squared.
Have a good day. And go
negative 8 and 12x, right? Because we're just multiplying it, right? The product is going to be x plus 4 and 3x minus 2. The sum is going to be the stuff on the inside, which is going to be 3x squared. We have to add negative 2x and 12x, which makes positive 10x, and then minus 8. So that's a product, and that's a sum. Again, you need to pause it or go back. You need to just do that. Okay, given the sequence, what kind of sequence is it? So first, to determine what kind of sequence, we got to figure out what's going on from that first term to the second term. It looks like I'm adding 4. Okay, and it could be a different pattern, but I'm going to go ahead and go with the easy one, which is add 4. And then I'm going to figure out, is it the same thing? Okay, 11 to 15. Yes, it is add 4. 15 to 19. Yes, it is add 4. So I know it's the same pattern, and you're adding 4, which means that this sequence is an arithmetic. Sorry, ARI. TH METIC, sequence. Okay, write an explicit equation for the sequence. Right, an explicit equation just looks like this. So you can call it y equals, or you can call it t of n. I will write it as t of n equals. Right, and since we know that it's a pattern of 4, it's going to be 4n, and then to figure out the last, okay, we got to figure out the zero term. So we got to go backwards and go -4. So the zero term is going to be 3 at the beginning. Right, so it's going to be 4n plus 3, and that is our explicit equation. Okay, last one. Is 109 a term of the sequence, right? If so, what term is it? So when you have this written out, you're going to utilize that. So we're going to utilize t of n equals 4n plus 3. And we're going to say, well, if 109 is part of that, then it's going to be, we're going to be able to solve for the n. So now you just got to go back and just solve what you need to solve for. Okay, so go ahead and do what we did today. So that's adding 3. So you're going to go ahead and subtract 3. So cancel that out. And you will have 4n on the right hand side. And 109 minus 3 is going to give you 106. Okay, and now the moment of truth, you're going to figure out if you can divide 4 into it. Okay, so we'll see. Let's see. Oops. Okay, so 106 divided by 4. And if you could divide it, then that means that it is a term in the sequence. If you cannot divide it, then that means that 109 is not a term in the sequence. Right? So 106 divided by 4. Okay, so 4 into 10, that's 2 times. That gets you 8. Leaves you with 2. Bring the 6 down. 4 into 26. 4 doesn't go into 26. Right? 4 goes into 24, and 4 goes into 20, and 4 goes into 30. Not 30. 28. Right? But 4 doesn't go into 26. Right? So if I go 4 times 7, it's 28. So that means that's too much. So it'd be 4 times 6, which would be 24. And remainder 2. So that means that because 4 doesn't divide into 106, and 106 came from the 109 minus 3, which means 109 is not a term in the sequence. Okay? So I want to say 109 is not a term. Okay? Gonna call it. That's a wrap.